Hello, I'm Anthony from Badge-A-Minit for New South Wales. Today we're going to be having a look at the model 1900A Badge-A-Minit machine that is sold in Australia, and we're going to look at how it operates and what the options are and how to adjust your machine. This machine has the ability to make different size badges. The most common size is the 57mm size, and that's the die set that we're dealing with today. The two bottom dies just lift off easily and they pivot on this central pin here with the two cutouts facing towards the machine, so that it fits in the first hole there, and your upper die is mounted to the upper part of the machine with a single bolt. It has an alignment point which there is a centre punch mark on the top of the die and a small V cut out into the bottom of that flat plate. They're the 2 points that need to line up while you're using a 5/32 Allen key to tighten the centre bolt. On the back of that upper die is a small pin which points towards the back of the machine, and it interacts with these two posts to engage the die at different positions during different parts of the assembly process. So if you want to change from one size die to another, and the 4 die sizes that are available for this machine are the large 85mm, the 57mm which is being demonstrated here, and then 2 smaller ones in 35mm and 25mm. I'm going to show you how to make a badge using the 57mm that's on here. To make a 57mm badge on this machine, first of all, on the gold die here we place the badge front, making the cut part like this facing up towards us. Then we place the artwork that we place that on the top of the badge front, metal badge front. And finally, the last component is the clear mylar, which sits over the top of your artwork. So once we've done that, we turn it so that it's towards the back of the machine, and we just pull the handle down until it travels the full amount and raise it back up. So part one has taken place. We then get our badge back with the pin part facing down towards into the machine, and we put it parallel in relation to the die. We then turn the die around to the back position, and holding this in place we pull the handle down again until it's done the full travel. We then return it back to the front, and there's a small ejector pin on most machines underneath here which you push up on, which allows you to get your badge out, and there you have your badge made, and it's fully assembled. So that's how quick and easy it is to make it on this machine. Most machines have the ability, if you've got another die set, to just change your dies. So we would take off the lower die, put the Allen key in, and then we undo it. So we've taken that off, we've got our bolt out, and you can see the pin on the back of the die here which points to the back of the machine when you're loading it in. And there's a small dot on here, and we've also got the V on the bottom edge of this beige flat area here. So when we're loading it back up, we line that dot up with the little V. Sometimes it's handy if you colour those two with a little bit of black permanent marker. You put your bolt back into the middle and do it back up, and then put your other die set on. So if you've got another die set size, you have to change your upper die and your lower dies. It is important to remember that originally you would have got one of these Allen keys. It's a 5/32 Allen key. Occasionally for maintenance you need to just check that these two are in the centre of here are tightened so that they're not wobbling around on top of that plate, and also check now and again if you're having any problems with your badges not assembling properly, one of the problems can be that this upper die is loose and not tightened, and that dot has moved to the left or right, meaning that it's no longer engaging the pins at the back, it's just moving the whole die assembly around, and that will mean the machine won't work. The first thing you check if your machine's not making a badge correctly is that this is lined up. And if you've only got one die set, then that stays on there once you've assembled it all the time. But you must remember when changing from one to another, if you have other dies, or you're using a cutter block, that you have to realign that die when you put the top die back on again. This machine does need to be oiled. If you just use light machine oil, as per the instructions, any of the moving joints where things are pivoting and moving up and down, that should be oiled and not allowed to become totally dry. Don't use excessive amounts, just small amounts at a time, and then mop up any excess. Make sure that after you've done that, that if you're going to be making a badge, and it may be same with your cutter circle, also needs to be oiled at the point it pivots, at the pivoting point on the blade, and also use some scrap paper to test your cutter circle after you've oiled it to make sure you don't ruin any good artwork. So we'll cover cutters more in another video. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it's been of help. You can also call me in Australia on 1300 366 877. That's 1300 366 877. If you require any service or badge parts, or if you have any questions about anything from this video or other things you'd like help with. Thanks for joining today.